Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Quick Looks with the Casual Hour. I'm Chase Kennecke. Along with me is Bobby Pease. Hi, Bobby.
Hello, Chase.
And we are looking at Pokemon. Come on! I thought I timed this right. Oh, yeah, get there.
Is it?
That's a.
Come on.
Pokemon Brilliant Diamond!
Woo, we did it.
Geez, yes. We're looking at Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. This is, a remake of the original Pokemon Diamond. Those were the fourth generation of Pokemon games. These are, whatever the fuck at this point. It's on the Switch.
Yeah.
But Bobby, why don't you tell me a little bit more about who makes these Pokemon games that I've heard so much about?
Well, it's being published by Nintendo. Game Freak, you know them. I know them. They've been such freaks. They've been involved for some time now, decades with the series. And as you mentioned, this is a remake of a Gen 4 Pokemon game being brought over to the Switch. So technically, I think we're probably looking at more Gen 8 when we look at what's being brought over to enhance this game. It's $60
mechanically, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So the way that they've been doing these, they did this with Sword and Shield. You can buy a standalone, so either Brilliant Diamond or is it Shining Pearl? Is that what the other one is? Mm-hmm. You can buy them. They're each $60. I think that you can get a double pack digitally or physically for $120. I've seen that discounted down to as cheap as like $80 for 2 games.
Yeah.
I think
it's Nintendo. You're
it's
not getting
Nintendo.
a discount.
So
some of us might have already bought both.
There you go. And they've done the thing where certain games have certain Pokemon. One thing that I have not seen yet, and I'm sure you'll get into it later on, is just is there a way to like access your home data, et cetera, et cetera. But that's what's going on here with this game. And you should definitely like and subscribe to what we're doing here. If you enjoy Quick Looks, Chase and I make a lot of those. We bring over video on demand from our streams on twitch.tv/casual hour. And so, yeah, like and subscribe to what we're doing here. We have a good time.
Yeah, so, Bobby, I've gone relatively blind into this game. I kind of tried to have a media blackout because I've found that Pokemon remakes are really interesting to me because I want to see what they keep, what they change. And I think these remakes break a little bit from tradition because I think about Pokemon. We had Pokemon Red and Blue, and then we had the remakes Fire Red and Leaf Green, and those are based on the Game Boy Advance games, the Ruby and Sapphire games. They have the same pixel assets of the GBA games. They deal in the same kinds of mechanics as those games. They even bring in some of the Pokemon from those games as well.
Right.
Then you had Gold and Silver became Heart Gold and Soul Silver on the DS, and those were based on the Diamond and Pearl games.
That's how I first played those.
Yeah, and I think those remakes are really good. Again, they build up the assets to look like the assets from that you're familiar with from Diamond and Pearl at that point. Again, mechanically, the ways that they've done like the special split from having your special attack and special defense based on one stat called special to breaking those stats into 2 different things.
It was a big change.
The way things like hold items work, that kind of stuff. So they would bring up mechanics while bringing back the old areas and the old Pokemon and that kind of stuff. You had the same thing with the Ruby and Sapphire remakes, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Those are based on the 3DS versions. They had the Mega Evolution in there. They had that kind of art style. These are different. We remember Sword and Shield that just came out. It didn't just come out. It came out a couple of years ago. Those games, full 3D. And you're walking around, and they have lots of different mechanics. And this is not that at all. These characters are, these kind of chibi-fied, I believe you call them tater tots. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And even these break from what the Let's Go games look like. This
is its own fucking thing. It's bizarre. It's kind of bizarre to me.
And I'm kind of, I don't know why exactly they did this. I know a lot of people don't love this art style. I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. But it's very weird. You had an art style with the Let's Go games if you didn't want to go the full way with something like the Sword and Shield games. I totally understand not making these into full 3D, but it is odd that they made a whole new art style just for these remakes instead of going off something that they already had. I'm not finding any fish.
And I'll say that, like, so I did not enjoy my time. Well, hang on. I went at breakneck speed through every Pokemon game.
You were nuts.
So I'd only played back in the day when Red and Blue came out. I played Red and Blue, loved them. Didn't have the means to play the other ones late throughout life. And so I played through all the Pokemon games past Red and Blue up until Sword and Shield. Like, literally, like, I didn't stop.
But you were only playing remakes, which meant when available. So you played
when available.
You played Heart Gold and Soul Silver, then you played Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and then you came back to Diamond, which was kind of like going back a generation because now you're playing DS games instead of the 3DS games you just played, which I'm sure was a little weird.
Yeah, it definitely was a little bit off-putting at the time, and so I did not enjoy my time with Pearl, especially after those other ones. And then as the games progressed, I was just like, I didn't really enjoy that. But so far, because I'm playing this as well, I'm playing Brilliant Diamond. I'm having a good time with it. I don't care for the art and the overworld. Like, this looks really good to me when you're in battle. This looks great.
This looks like the Let's Go games, which is like, why didn't you just make the whole game look like this? Because you already had all those assets. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not upset. It's not going to keep me from playing it, obviously, but I don't really care for how the little tater tots look outside of battle. But I do care more, I should say, about quality of life. And looking back at my time with Pokemon, like, that was one of the things that I found very interesting is how do they make the game more accessible as they make these games.
Right, and I think they have done a decent job. This menu system is kind of interesting. So you think back to Diamond and Pearl; those were DS games. You obviously had two screens for those, and that bottom screen had a lot of information on it. It had what's called a Pokétch that you get, Pokemon Watch, and they try to bring that into this game with this little thing that can go up in the corner of the screen. You can also make it bigger if you want. And you can change the function, so time, calculator, step counter.
I don't think that uses or recognizes touch when it's like this, though. I might be wrong.
I don't know. I'm playing it on docked mode. It shows your Pokemon, and that's all it does. I think you get more functions for this as the game goes on. And then you can hold the right bumper to get rid of it, because you don't always want that in the corner of the screen. But yeah, like in terms of quality of life stuff, it feels pretty good. Like, a lot of this stuff you'll recognize if you played something like Let's Go or even Sword and Shield. And you see where this stuff is relatively similar to other games. It's just, I think, presented in a nicer looking way. It does have like when we get into another battle here. Let's get into another trainer battle. It shows you the effectiveness of moves as you're.
I really like that.
And it doesn't even hide them until you've tried one, because I know some Pokemon games have been like, oh, we don't know if this attack is super effective or not, and then once it is then it goes, okay, you know this one's super effective. It's okay. So you can see here, tackle would be effective, quick attack would be effective, growl is a status changing move. You can see more information about the move in using that Y button there. This all feels pretty basic Pokemon stuff. It's nice that you see the ability screen, or the ability on the Pokemon thing, so you know when to switch into stuff. You just take it a little bit more information there. The bag system is pretty solid. We'll look more into the bag here in a bit after this match. This is a Magikarp, so I'm not too worried about it. We'll just quick attack. It's just going to splash around.
But I think that, I think it's a fair price for a remake. In comparison to like what some of the other remakes you're seeing out there charge, like, hey, this remake came out and the Pokemon don't go bigger if you wobble them. Like, that's a sign that works really well. So
I mean, these are full price games. These are full price Switch games. It's I'm not saying it's a bargain, but you are getting these are pretty long games. I spent a long time playing Diamond and Pearl back in the day, and I could see myself spending a lot of time playing these games as well.
Yeah, and I think for me, it's one of those things where it's interesting that this came out in November, and January we're going to be seeing a very new take on Pokemon, and
right.
I'm really curious because I think something similar happened too. Like, didn't Let's Go come out really close to when Sword and Shield came out?
They came out. Did they come out before?
It came out before.
Yeah,
it did.
Like maybe the year before, around the year before.
So I think that, like, looking at like the time frame here, so November, December, January, there's not a ton of time between these two big Pokemon releases, and I'm really curious to see what maybe will happen with this game at the time of that release, because I think that that's going to be a pretty big deal. Not that this isn't. People are excited, and I know that Diamond and Pearl are fan favorites. Like, a lot of people really like those stories there, and there hasn't been a new Pokemon game, and the DLC for Sword and Shield has been less than receptive. So
it had cool things, but yeah, it had some pretty fundamental decisions in it that I wasn't a fan of, that didn't make things that fun. Here's an interesting thing. This is a little greebly in the weeds, but I found it really interesting. So it breaks a little bit from mechanics from Sword and Shield and from other more modern Pokemon games. The TM system, so TMs back in the day were one-use items, and then at some point, I think it was it Black and White, maybe that generation, where they said, fuck it, TMs are usable, are
right.
reusable. You can use them as many times as you want. This game says no, they're back to being single-use items.
Yep.
And Sword and Shield did an interesting thing where you had TMs, which were completely reusable, but you also had, what were they called, TRs or something like that you could use, that were consumable items. You could get multiple copies of them, but I thought they were going to do that here. They were going to have the same kind of system. I don't think they do. These TMs are single use. You see that I have 3 of these workup TMs. So why don't we just use one? Let's screw it. Let's put it on the Bidoof.
Yeah.
And it breaks. So
yeah.
I only have 2. That's maybe there's more in here. Maybe there's going to be another kind of TM. I'm sure there are HMs in this game at this point, and they didn't break from that like other Pokemon games have. We'll see. I've kind of kept a media blackout, so I don't know all the specifics of how things are going to work. I know some other legendaries that aren't from this game are in here. I don't know about other Pokemon from other generations, whether they are from future generations, if they show up here. I would assume so.
I think that there's the Mr. Mime, I think, is here, I think.
So maybe, would that just be the regional variants might show up here, but maybe not the rest? That'd be similar to something like the way that Let's Go worked. So we'll see. But for now, like, this feels like Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, and those games were solid in my opinion. So I'm having a good time with it so far. And I kind of just keep going.
I don't know how much we need to really show off of this, because I know that you are, and I'm going to play.
It's Pokemon. You kind of know what Pokemon is at this point.
You'll talk more about it, but you and our co-host Johnny are doing something really cool over on your YouTube channel, so I'll let you talk about that here in a minute. But I think this feels modern. It brings over some of the things that you would expect from an older Pokemon games. Chase has highlighted. If you've played Let's Go, if you played Sword and Shield, you'll be pretty familiar with what they've introduced here. We might stream something sometime with this. I don't know. But I think that there's some cool stuff here. And again, it's Pokemon. So, like, you can say all day long that doesn't change, but I've been eating pizza rolls for a long time now, Chase, and I still like pizza rolls, man. And sometimes it's nice just to warm up some pizza rolls and have that. So,
yeah, I mean, you said it feels modern, and I think in some ways it does feel modern, and in other ways it feels very hews much more traditionally to the older games, and that's a weird spot for a remake to be in. For these remakes to be in, because I think other Pokemon remakes again have kept with the mechanics of the newer games at the time, and this one is breaking from that a little bit, and it's interesting to see how it breaks and why they make some of these decisions. And I don't have all the answers on why they've done this or all the changes that are in here, but it's kind of interesting to keep going and exploring and seeing what's changed and what hasn't.
Yeah. So what I would say is, I think that people who are watching this video, we're going to divert you over to another channel, which you can find on if you go down and you're watching us on YouTube, look for our featured people. You'll see Chasey K Plays, where Chase and Johnny are playing a really interesting take on this.
Yeah.
And, you should watch that.
So I've never done a Nuzlocke before, which is a more challenging way to play a Pokemon game, where if a Pokemon faints, you have to it quote unquote dies. You have to lose it forever. You can't use it anymore. So I've never played a Nuzlocke. Johnny, our co-host, has never played a Nuzlocke before, and with these remakes, we're like, okay, I kind of remember Diamond and Pearl. This might be an interesting one where we're not going in completely blind, but we're going in a little bit blind of how this is different from previous Pokemon games, or how it's different from the original Diamond and Pearl. Let's give a Nuzlocke a shot. So we're doing that. The Nuzlocke is about where I am when we started, where we're at this Jubilife City. We recorded our first episode. It's out on Chase K Plays, and we're going to keep doing that. And it's been fun so far.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that if you wanted to see a little bit more how this game progresses out, that'd probably be the way to do it. But we're not going to show all the cards here on this quick look, but I think just having a general discussion about some of the things that change, what you can expect, and again, don't take our commentary of hey, it's more Pokemon or it's Pokemon as a bad thing. That's actually a very good thing, in my opinion. And if you've played any Pokemon game on the Switch, that is what I would consider more of a traditional Pokemon game. So Let's Go or Sword and Shield, not like Unite or something like that. But you will find something very familiar here.
Just there was a little interesting mechanic. Something that it did bring over that feels more modern is that one, the experience share is on by default, so everything gets experience. I don't think there's even a way to turn it off. Not that I've seen anyway. And also, you still get experience for catching Pokemon, which is something that Generation 4, the original games, definitely did not have. So that's that there are differences. Some things have been moved up. You get the running shoes in here incredibly quickly. I don't remember if you got them that quick. Oh fuck! Here's a Shinx. Damn it! I'm learning too much for the Nuzlocke. This might be bad. I could get a Shinx.
I've got an evolved Shinx that I am really a big fan of.
I'm a big fan of Luxray. It's a good Pokemon. Let's try catching this, and then we'll call it a day after this is over. Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So level 4, yellow health. This guy.
He's yours.
We're gonna catch this guy. And you know what? We're gonna catch this guy. Oh, I already used my Premier Ball on the Magikarp. Okay, I'll just use Pokeball.
Premier. Does Premier get you a better chance of catching?
No, it's the same as a Pokeball, but it makes the Pokemon you catch a little friendlier to start with, and also it's a pure white ball. It looks kind of cool. It's nice to have the Pokemon you really like caught with a Premier Ball. All right, there's our Shinx.
Yeah,
Bobby, I have a pretty strong rule which we have to break for the Nuzlocke because that's a Nuzlocke rule. I don't nickname my Pokemon.
Yeah.
But
Same.
Did I not get an option to nickname this one? Oh, I know what it is. I turned it off in the options. Don't give nicknames. I do actually usually give nicknames to my Shinx. I change it to Shanks because I just like that name way better. So that's the one time I ever break the rule is that I always nickname my Shanks into Shanks. But yeah, so it does have gyroscope. I have not played this game with Joy-Cons, so I could not possibly know how that works. Yeah,
I haven't heard also the Pokeball controller, if there's anything special with that either. I do know if you've got save data on your Switch from Let's Go, you get a Mew in this game.
Yeah, I don't know where that is or when that shows up, but that's a cool little bonus. Definitely better than buying that Pokeball Plus to get your Mew in Let's Go.
Yep.
Yeah, glad I don't have to do that. Yeah, you did mention the ball stuff. I think that's in the PC. Maybe we don't have that yet.
Yeah, but put a Pokemon in
boxes. And then Rowan's PC, I think this is just items. Oh, nope, not even that. Oh, we don't need items anymore. We have an unlimited bag. Okay, doesn't matter. Bobby, let's save here. Let's call it a day. We've got a team of 6. Look at those beautiful boys and girls, I suppose. Yeah, this is Pokemon this is Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. Shining Pearl is pretty much the same, but it's got a different set of Pokemon, a different legendary associated with it. These seem good. Also, you mentioned before we started recording that you weren't sure how the Pokemon Home worked with this. I don't know either, and so far they haven't shown anything to me as I'm playing this game about, hey, transfer your Pokemon from home into here or out of here into home. I have to imagine that's an option. Why make Pokemon Home if you don't have integration with it here? Maybe that's not available day one, or maybe that's something you get post game. But lots of things. I'm sure we'll continue talking about this game and the differences it has between modern Pokemon games and the previous generation that this is based on.
Yeah, absolutely. As we talked about earlier, we do quick looks 2 times a week. So if you're watching this, Tuesdays and Thursdays we post a new quick look. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we're live on twitch.tv/thecasualhour at 10:30 p.m. Central. Wednesday night we record a podcast, The Casual Hour. We post that wherever you listen to your podcast every Friday morning, 9 a.m. Central. If you're watching this at this time frame, stick around for our channel because we're going to be doing a lot of Game of the Year content going into 2022. And with that, check out these games. They're fun. If you've never played them, there's no reason not to play one of these Pokemon games to check out what's happening there. Chase, I want to say thanks for taking us through these changes, and best of luck to you and Johnny on your Nuzlocke adventure over on Chasey K Place.
Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.